Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are cracking open the official rulebook for green buildings. It's a pretty complex document, but it is fundamentally reshaping our cities, one blueprint at a time.
So what's the big headline here? Well, at its core, this code demands that new buildings hit a massive 50% improvement in energy efficiency compared to buildings from way back in 2005. I mean, that one number is driving a huge shift in construction, really changing the DNA of the buildings we live and work in.
So in this explainer, we're going to start with why this code even exists in the first place. Then we'll unpack the rules themselves, see how they're different for, say, your home versus your office, and finally, we'll look at how the code actually pushes developers to innovate beyond just the bare minimum.
Okay, let's dive right in. The simple truth is, buildings have a massive environmental footprint. I mean, from the energy they guzzle to the materials used to put them up, they're a huge part of our climate challenges, and that is the problem this code is designed to tackle head-on.
And you can see it right there in the mission statement. This isn't just about offering some friendly suggestions, Its whole purpose is to set a mandatory minimum standard for environmental performance. It's about directly forcing a reduction in the impact of our built environment.
So, how does this thing actually work? What are the nuts and bolts that turn these good intentions into real standing buildings? First off, this doesn't apply to every single project. It's really targeting the big fish. We're talking large-scale developments. Specifically, any new construction or major retrofit that has a gross floor area, or GFA, of 5,000 square meters or more. That way, you ensure the biggest projects are making the biggest positive impact.
And at the heart of it all is a scoring system. To get the green light, a building has to earn a minimum green mark score of 50 points. Now, this isn't just a simple pass-fail test. It's a real quantitative measure of how well a building performs environmentally. Hitting that 50-point mark is the official stamp that says, yes, this building has met a tough but achievable green standard.
And to make sure these aren't just empty promises on a piece of paper, compliance is checked at two really critical moments. First, the blueprints get scrutinized before a single shovel hits the ground. Then, once the whole thing's built, developers have to submit proof that the green features they designed actually exist in the final product. It's a way of making sure the vision actually matches the reality.
Now, here is where the code gets really interesting and really smart. It completely understands that a giant office skyscraper and a residential apartment building are two totally different beasts. So it lays out two very distinct paths to sustainability, one for the places we live and another for the places we work.
For our homes, the code really zeroes in on the core essentials. It starts with the building's skin, basically how well its walls and roof keep the heat out. From there, it targets the efficiency of the systems we all share, like the air conditioning, the lights in the hallways, and yep, even the elevators.
And this slide really highlights a key difference. If you've got a building with a lot of windows, the rule for the glass itself is way stricter for an office. The shading coefficient, which is basically a measure of how much solar heat the glass blocks, has to be almost twice as effective in a non-residential building. And why is that? Well, because offices are air-conditioned all day long, and keeping that solar heat out is absolutely critical for saving energy.
The thinking behind cooling systems is also completely different. For homes, the focus is all on the efficiency of the individual product, making sure each apartment gets a highly rated, super efficient aircon unit. But for big, non-residential buildings, the code looks at the total system efficiency. It's not just about the individual parts. It's about how efficiently the entire integrated system of chillers, pumps, and fans works together as one big, cohesive machine.
Non-residential buildings also face much tougher operational rules. They have to be built to be more airtight, for one, and crucially, they have to have permanent instruments installed to constantly measure and verify their energy performance. With separate electrical submeters for major systems, building managers can track exactly where every bit of energy is going. After all, you can't manage what you don't measure.
But just hitting the minimum standard is really only the beginning. The code is also cleverly designed to push the boundaries and actively encourage real innovation in green design.
So here's the crucial point. Meeting all those base requirements we just talked about, that's not actually enough to get you your 50 points. To get to the finish line, developers also have to choose and implement at least 4 additional carbon reduction measures from a pre-approved list.
And these extra measures fall into 3 distinct categories, which gives developers a kind of menu of options. They can choose from smarter design strategies, more sustainable construction practices, or they can adopt advanced green technologies.
So what does this look like in the real world?
Well, a developer could choose to design the building to maximize natural airflow in over 80% of the common areas. Or maybe they opt for low-carbon concrete that uses recycled materials. Or they can invest in cool technology, like installing solar panels on the roof, putting in smart energy dashboards for the people inside, or even using elevators that actually generate electricity every time they go down.
Ultimately, when you put it all together, this code provides a really powerful and systematic blueprint for creating the next generation of high-performance buildings. It's a clear roadmap. But it also leaves us with a pretty fascinating question. As these standards become the new normal, what new ideas and technologies will define the next frontier for creating truly sustainable cities?